uncle, auntie, mommy, daddy, I'm moving. Please, do you have one distant relative in Australia? You have no job, you have no guarantor, you have no rental history, and you want to find accommodation in Australia. Like, no, you've applied for your student visa, you have applied for whatever visa it is to come to Australia, and you're like, how far? Where are we gonna live? How are we going to do accommodation? Because I don't have anybody here or whatever. We're going to get into all of that nitty gritty in this video. Hi guys. Hi guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lola Lolita. If you are seeing baby girl for the very first time, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, I hope you guys are doing well. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you for always watching my videos. If you are new here, my name is Lola. I live and I work full-time in Australia. I've been here for about 6 years now, and I do videos about like my life here, coming here, starting from scratch, and just living and thriving in Australia. Okay, so if you're interested in that, keep on watching. Today we'll be talking about a very, very important video. You've applied for your student visa, you have applied for whatever visa it is to come to Australia, and you're like, how far? Where are we gonna live? How are we going to do accommodation? Because I don't have anybody here or whatever. We're going to get into all of that nitty gritty in this video. So to be honest, what has warranted this video has been comments I got on one of the videos I made some weeks ago at this point. Someone said, I'm interested in accommodation video as an immigrant without a job yet. No credit history, no guarantor, no rent history, just a lady and a luggage. And she was laughing. I was like, I got you. This was from Oyin X official. I'm like, okay. And then Roberta also said, I would like to see videos about accommodations for new immigrants. Okay, so I'm like, you know what? Say no more. I got you guys. So today we'll be talking about you have no job, you have no guarantor, you have no rental history, and you want to find accommodation in Australia. Like, how am I gonna do it? I don't know how to go about it. Let's talk about that in this video. Okay. First things first, where we're starting from. So if you have no rental history, if you have no job, it's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult because, to be honest, if you are looking for like a proper accommodation, right, where it's just you by yourself, you're the only one on the list, yada yada yada, the house agent is going to ask you for your rental history. They'll ask for reference, like people. Sometimes they ask for reference of your previous house where you've lived before in Australia. Don't go and put landlord in Nigeria. Do you get what I mean? So they want that. Not only rental history, they need your last three pay slips, your most recent pay slips, the three of them. Here in Australia, we get paid every 2 weeks or every week, depending. And so your pay slip for the past like 6 weeks, they want the most recent one. So if you're applying now, your last three pay slips, that's what they want. So like if you don't have a job, I'm sorry, it's going to be very, very difficult. Not that there's no way around it. We'll talk about that in this video, okay? So the first thing I would say, your best option, okay, would be to get shared accommodation. I know, like, coming from Nigeria, shared accommodation is not exactly something that we are into, especially with strangers. Okay, like you can share accommodation with your friends, family, blah blah blah, that's normal. But like with total strangers that you have no idea about them, you don't know them from anywhere, and it's like, do I want to live with these people? I don't know them. And some of the crazy things that happen in shared accommodation, especially if you are sharing communal areas like bathroom and toilets, like people are nasty. People are nasty. That's all I can tell you about that. If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, but anyway, if you're able to get en suite is you have your own toilet and bathroom in your room. You are not sharing that with anybody. That is perfect, but usually costs a bit more. And I understand, like, if you're coming new to Australia, you're trying to save coins. What I can tell you is, if you are getting shared accommodation, take it from me. I've lived in an accommodation where there were like 8 or 9 of us in the house. It was horrible. Okay, so as cheap as that might be, please don't do that to yourself. Look for accommodation where maximum people in the house is 3 or 4 people. So when I say 3 people, that's including yourself. So you have 2 housemates, or 4 people, you have 3 housemates. But ideally, the sweet spot is to have 2 other housemates, where there are 3 of you in total in the house, sharing the toilet, bathroom, sharing kitchen also, or sharing like communal living space if you have like a sitting room there. Not all of them will have that. In shared accommodation, like I always say, the only place that is yours, that is private, is your bedroom. Like nobody has a right to get in into your bedroom, especially if you're already paying your rent. It doesn't matter. You go out, you lock your door. Okay. So shared accommodation, the only place that you have privacy is your bedroom. Okay. Nobody has a right to tell you, oh, like I want to come into your room. No, you're paying rent for that space, especially. It is yours. Don't let anybody do you anyhow, okay? But yeah, so that is one thing, right? When you are living in shared accommodation, one thing I can tell you is try to get a contract, okay? Get them to write something up. And this is to protect yourself, because I'll tell you this, especially if you are trying, if you are new, people might want to take advantage of you. Don't let them, okay? So to avoid that, make sure there is a written agreement, even if it's pen and paper that they used to write it. It's better than nothing, where you guys both sign there, where it's like, okay, oh, I'm here for like 3 months, okay? I'm here for 3 months, and I would like to get accommodation for that 3 months. And the because if you are living in shared accommodation, right, and your landlord or whoever doesn't like, maybe you are not clean, or like, even let's reverse the case, maybe the person you're sharing the house with is not clean or whatever, or they're making your life miserable, and you want to leave, tell them you want at least 2 weeks notice, because finding a house is not a joke. 2 weeks safe, but like 2 weeks is like a decent, it's reasonable, I would say. So make sure like there's that clause where it's like at least 2 weeks notice. You everybody has to give each other 2 weeks notice, because it's like, you can't just kick me out on the street in one day and be like, oh, you need to pack your bag and go. No, 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 no. 2 weeks notice at least. That's like a good option for you. Okay. So I would say make sure that is in the clause. Respect people's privacy, respect people's space. Also, when you're living in shared accommodation, don't just cook and leave everything scattered. Clean up, that's another thing. You have to like clean up immediately, because like somebody else wants to use the kitchen, or they might want to use the bathroom or kitchen or whatever. So you have to be clean and neat. One thing I would say is, some I will talk about best places to get shared accommodation towards the end of this video, so you have to stay tuned, okay? When you're also getting shared accommodation, I would say the best bet is to get shared accommodation where it's like all girls in the house. And I get like people live with like their boyfriends or their girlfriends around here. It's like a normal thing, right? Please make sure that you are asking upfront, like, not that like I've signed up to share accommodation with 2 people, and all of a sudden there are 3 of us in the house constantly. Maybe people have their boyfriends over or girlfriends over constantly. Make sure you're asking, like, not like you're asking, you're like, okay, how many of us are going to be in the house? Is it just 2 of us? If they say yes, because it's one thing like you can have your friends or boyfriend or girlfriend visit, that one is understandable. But if it is now a thing of they're constantly living in the house, where maybe you go to the bathroom half naked because you are all girls in the house, and you find a stranger in your house, like, that is very very confronting, and it's not nice. Okay, so make sure you're asking, like, is it just us, like girls, like, are your partners constantly in the house with us or something like that? Phrase it in a nice and polite way. I can't tell you how to phrase it. I hope you're getting my drift, right? Like, that allows you to know if you want to get the house. But to be honest, if you are just coming, you just need somewhere to put your head. So whatever you see, as long as it's reasonable, I would say take it, okay? And in terms of living with flatmates, I would say if your target is like, okay, I'll live in shared accommodation for like 3 months and then I want to get my own space, or move to a place where there are just two of us in shared accommodation. Maybe you've been four together now. Maybe you now have a place where there are two of you and you have a flatmate, right? Here's what I would say: be cordial with whoever people you are living with. Like, they don't have to know all about your business, but like, you are cordial, you greet each other, you gist here and there, okay? Because when you decide to move, you can use them as your reference. Because you'll be like, oh, I want to move houses. Are you happy to for me to put you down as my reference or something like that? And you can put like your friends also for reference. Hopefully you've made some few friends, especially if you're coming to study in like the 3 months. Also, do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you are still watching and you have not subscribed. Why? Am I owing you money? I know I'm not. So subscribe to my channel. Yes. Anyway, another would be Airbnb or what else? Like a hotel or a motel or like a hostel, right? Um yeah, it's just tricky because those are expensive if I'm being honest. And it's difficult sometimes to get accommodation from outside Nigeria, especially. Like if you're not here yet, it's very difficult for you to like get accommodation. So um you might have to stay like in an Airbnb or a hotel for like a week or two or something before you now find accommodation, okay? Another thing I would say is if you are coming to study, I will tell you for a fact the easiest thing, I know it might be expensive, maybe the easiest thing would be to get school accommodation. I know they're like usually small and tiny, but honestly, I think that is a good option for you because that saves you all this hassle and stress. Maybe you live in student accommodation for like 6 months or 1 year, and then after that, you can also and find your way out of student accommodation in your university. Like it makes things so much convenient. So if you're coming to study, then this is an option. This is like a great option. It allows you to mingle with people in the hostel, people from diverse culture and all of that, your schoolmates and all of that. And I think that is great. Okay. Another advice I can give you, maybe you're coming from Nigeria or somewhere where you're like, you're a big shot. When I say you're a big shot, maybe you're a bank manager or you're this or you're that, right? I don't know what you are, where you're from. Do you get what I mean? Don't come here with your shoulder pad all high like that. Australia will what? It will humble you. I'm telling you for a fact, it will humble you. So make sure like you don't go with a chip on your shoulder, looking down on people or feeling like, oh, like this place is beneath me or whatever. If you are looking for a place for a start, you just need to adjust yourself and be willing to, you know, um, accept whatever you find that is reasonable. Do you get what I mean? I don't know if that is coming across right. I'm not saying accept rubbish, but at the same time, because you were living in a, I don't know, a mansion in Nigeria, you come here and you think you cannot afford it. So don't lie to yourself, okay? Another thing will be before you come here, right? As per Nigerians, we always have uncles and aunties and nephews and nieces. See, you see, I know like as a Nigerian, when you're traveling, you don't tell anybody. Is a normal thing. You have reached your destination before you're calling family and friends, like depending, right? But at the same time, maybe you have one family member, or like, in fact, your mom or your dad, or like close uncle or whatever. Just ask them, uncle, auntie, mommy, daddy, I'm moving. Please, do you have one distant relative in Australia? Or something or something. Do you get what I mean? Because they might be, you'll be surprised how, like our parents or the older generation, they have like connections, they have serious connects, in the abroad. So they might know somebody that lives here, and that person might be able to help you with like trying to get accommodation or be a reference for you or something like that. That might make the transition easier, okay? But if, do you get what I mean? But if that is not an option and they don't have that, your best option would be shared accommodation or Airbnb or a hotel or something, right? Or hostel. There's hostel. Hostels are like where backpackers go. People are just moving through the city for a few weeks. But for hostels, right, I would say don't leave your luggage carelessly because things might get stolen. Your passport and all of those basic things. If you are going to the toilet, carry it. If you are going to the shower, carry it. You get what I mean? But that's just like, look at all of these things as temporary solutions to the problem you're facing at the moment. Okay. If you're coming for work, then that is good. When I say that is good, when I say coming for work, you have a sponsored visa, right? Then your employer should be able to help you to a level with securing some kind of accommodation. Ask them. Like they say, a closed mouth is a closed destiny. Always ask questions. So, like whoever you've been chatting with, whether it's HR, you'll be like, "Oh, I'm new in Australia. I don't know anybody. Is it possible to help with accommodation for the first few weeks when I get here?" Simple email you have sent. The worst they will say is no, we don't help with that. But the best they will say is, oh yeah, we can help with that, no problem. You might have to pay for that. Do you get, as you're getting your salary, you pay for the place they help you get. Do you get? Okay. I would say it is a bit tricky, especially if you don't know anyone here, to like leave and come. If you are coming to study, I've told you the solution, student accommodation. If you are coming for work, I've told you the solution, ask employer. If you are coming on your own and you don't have anybody, maybe you are visiting or you are, I don't know, whatever the other circumstances might be, Airbnb or hotels or something. Yes, they're going to be expensive, but it's just for a little bit. That will ginger you because the moment you get here, now to the part you have all been waiting for, like places to go to find shared accommodation. For you to now like when you get here, if you're staying Airbnb and maybe they are charging you $300, this figure is just from my head. I don't know what the current prices are. They're charging you maybe $300. You know you will not be sleeping in the house you per week, right? You will get out there and go and look for houses. You check on the various applications. So now let's talk about applications you can use to find houses in Australia, shared accommodation. You can use real estate, you can use domain, you can use Facebook Marketplace. That's a sweet spot. Facebook Marketplace, or another place would be Gumtree. There's Flatmates. I know Flatmates, you have to pay for you to view some of the houses on there, or Flatmates is another one. So these are all the different um websites that I can think of that can help you with finding shared accommodation. Shared accommodation is your best friend, okay? If you are coming and you have nobody, you don't know anybody, you don't know anything. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. I think I've answered all the questions I could think of. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you have watched up to this point, you are the real OG. If you have watched up to this point, comment yay in the comment section. YAY. Let me know you watch all the way here, okay? Thank you all so much for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, okay? Subscribe so you get notification from me. Turn on your notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. Videos go up weekly on this channel. Thank you for watching. It's your favorite baby girl, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.